Hello everybody, and thank you guys for tuning in this video. My name is Cole Marnes, and in today's episode we're going to be talking about the NFL Week 9, and this is part 2 of Week 9. If you missed part 1, you can either watch this before or after, whatever you want to do, but you can go down to the description below, hit the link down there, and it'll take you right to that video. But let's get on here with part 2 of Week 9, as we'll start off with our 4 o'clock games, as the 2-5 Carolina Panthers will take on the 3-4 Los Angeles Rams. Carolina last week picking up a very, very much needed victory after their bye week against the Arizona Cardinals, as Carolina just seemed like they couldn't get anything going, and going against a very strong Arizona defense. I had my disregards against Carolina Panthers in this one, but they got off to a big lead early, and that was the key factor in this game, and that's what led them to pick up the victory. Cam Newton had a little something to say after the game about the refs and started arguing about that again, but that's not a topic we need to get into. That's a whole different story on this one. But the Panthers were able to pick up a good victory last week against the Arizona Cardinals. LA needed a much needed bye week after starting the season 3-1, have lost the last 3 games of the year, and now need to try to get things figured out here, especially going against a Carolina Panthers team who's very angry after starting the season very, very horribly, and trying to make a possible run that would blow all our minds if they could make it to the playoffs. And that's one I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers. I believe this team is going to go on a hot streak here for a little bit. I just believe Cam Newton's going to have a game of the year against this Los Angeles Rams team, who again, this team sounds like they go on and off the Rams, so it'll be interesting to see how they can do. This defense, when they show up, they absolutely show up if they need to. So it'll be interesting to see how this one goes. But I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers, picking up the win against the Los Angeles Rams on the road. I'm going to say it's going to be a close one, so we're going to say 17-14. The Panthers are going to win this one. Our next game, we had the 3-4 New Orleans Saints taking on the 1-6 San Francisco 49ers. New Orleans last week picking up a very, very, very big game against the Seattle Seahawks at home, and a game where, surprisingly, this New Orleans defense looked pretty impressive, as they were able to hold Russell Wilson from throwing for a touchdown in that game. So that's a very, very big accomplishment, as it's like a Seahawks team that seems back and forth. We'll talk about the Seahawks more when we get to their game, but a great win for the New Orleans Saints in that game last week. And San Francisco coming off a bye week, and right now probably not looking just as good as the Cleveland Browns, honestly, even though they have one win this year. They started off a win against the Los Angeles Rams. After that, they have not done anything. They've lost 6 straight games in a row now. Kaepernick giving a little more spark to this team, but not too much to push this team to a victory yet. And in this one, I'm going to go with the New Orleans Saints. I just don't see the San Francisco team doing too much against the Saints. I mean, I believe Kaepernick will at least have his best game of the year so far against the Saints defense. But then again, who knows? If the Saints defense can keep up with their did last week, it could be a blowout. But I'm going to say keep this one as a close game, as I believe the New Orleans Saints are going to beat the San Francisco 49ers on the road. We're going to say a score of 24-17. Our next game, we had the 3-5 Indianapolis Colts taking on the 4-3 Green Bay Packers. Last week, the Indianapolis Colts suffered a loss to Kansas City, as they just seemed like they couldn't get things going on this Kansas City defense that's very, very strong. And Andrew Luck, the guy who we all expect to be like Tom Brady level right now, not having the greatest seasons, as again, he's coming back from injury, so maybe it's taking a little bit of time for him to recover. But again, the Colts not having the season they expected to have right now. And the Green Bay Packers also suffering a loss against the Atlanta Falcons last week, as Green Bay not having the season they expected to have right now. Right now, 4-3, and losing some games at home is very unlikely for this Packers team. And Aaron Rodgers, who did have a good game last week, at least, had 4 touchdown passes in that one. Just seemed like he couldn't get things going to clinch this win for his Packers team, even though it was a little bit on the defense as well in that game. But in this one, I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers. They are home here once again. This Colts team seems like they're having some issues, and we know with this Green Bay Packers defensive line, I believe they're not going to allow Colts to run the ball too much, which will put all the pressure on Andrew Luck in his arm. He does have some great receivers on his team, but I don't think it's going to be strong enough to beat this Green Bay Packers defense, and this offense for the Green Bay Packers I think will be able to beat up this Indianapolis Colts defense. And Cobb, who should be coming back healthy as he did not play last week, should be a big help to this offense as well for Aaron Rodgers. And I have the Green Bay Packers picking up a very good win here against the Indianapolis Colts by a score of 28-17. And our next game, we have the 4-4 Tennessee Titans taking on the 3-5 San Diego Chargers. The The Titans picked up a win last Thursday night against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and a very good win for that team, as they're starting to get the ball rolling here a little bit, as we're looking a little better and better each week so far, as I think they're up to 2 wins in a row now. As San Diego Chargers suffered a loss in a rematch from earlier this season against the Denver Broncos, as they were not able to get their second win against that team, and Philip Rivers had a very struggling game in that one, throwing 3 interceptions in that one. And I know I praise Aaron Rodgers almost every, I mean, I understand Aaron Rodgers, Philip Rivers every week, and I think he honestly is still one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Had a bad week last week. If he can get some things, the ball rolling, I feel like he could get things a little better. But right now, some of his star players are hurt, so we'll see if he can come back this week and have a little better game, as they are at home in this one. And I think the San Diego Chargers will pick up the win here. They, again, like I mentioned, they are at home. I believe that's going to be a strong thing for Philip Rivers and this team. I think the San Diego crowd will get behind him, and I think Rivers will have a better game than what he had last week. Hopefully, it's a better game than he had last week, where he threw 3 interceptions. I believe Rivers will probably get 3 touchdowns in this one. The running game for San Diego might be able to have a little issues, as Titans defense seems like they can do a good job stopping the run. But if Marvin Gordon can get things going for this Chargers team as well, I think it's an obvious win for the Chargers. But I'm still going to go with the Chargers over the Tennessee Titans at home in this one by a score of, we're going to go 22-17. And now we head to our Sunday night football game, which we have a battle for the first place in the AFC West, as a 6-2 Denver Broncos take on the 6-2 Oakland Raiders. Last week, like I mentioned, Denver Broncos would pick up a revenge match against the San Diego Chargers, and making this series even between those two, 1-1 in the season. And for the Oakland Raiders, they were able to pick up a overtime victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a game where they had an NFL record 23 turnovers. But hey, the team even said, we like having penalties. It shows that we're playing tough out there. That means we're playing aggressive, and that's making the other team probably fear them a little more. That's why they live in the black hole. And that's where this game is going to be this week, in the black hole in Oakland, California. And this one, this is a very difficult pick. Derek Carr having a great game last week, throwing for over 500 yards, 3 touchdowns. His offense seems like they're starting to get things rolling. I'm going to go with the upset here in this one. I'm going to go with the Oakland Raiders. I don't know if you want to even call that an upset or not, but I'm going to go with the Raiders in this one. They are at home in this one. I believe that crowd's going to be crazy on Sunday night. And this Denver team, I don't know if they'll be able to stop this, how strong this Raiders offense has been going. It'll be a very interesting battle to see how this offense, the Raiders offense against Denver's defense, as well as this, I believe, the two sides of their team that are struggling, the Denver offense versus the Raiders defense. So I'm pretty excited to see how this game's going to go on Saturday night. I'm going with the Raiders in this one, picking up a victory, and for the first time in I don't know how long, especially in Week 9, having a division lead, probably since 2000. Not even 2002, because I think that was a wild card game. Even though you can be the wild card, I don't know if it was 2002 or not. But remember the last time the Raiders had the division lead, I bet the Raiders picking up the win in this one. We're going to see a score of we're going to go 17-14 in this one. And finally, our Monday night football game, the 4-4 Buffalo Bills taking on the 4-2-1 Seattle Seahawks. As last week, the Buffalo Bills suffered a loss to the New England Patriots, but they were able to pick up somebody this week, as just announced earlier this week. The Buffalo Bills signed their old receiver from last year, Percy Harvin, who retired last year because of injuries. Decided he was going to come back and try to help this Buffalo Bills offense get things rolling here once again. So it should be an interesting receiver for the Bills, as he should have the playbook pretty much down since he played for the team for, I believe, 2 years before he retired. So we'll see how that helps this Buffalo offense. And Seattle suffering a surprising loss against the New Orleans Saints, as right now this offensive line needs to help Russell Wilson, I believe, as they seem like they're not protecting him enough, and he's getting hit more, which I believe is hurting his confidence right now. So we'll see if they can try to protect him against this very, very iffy Buffalo team, who's going to put some pressure, I believe, on the Seattle Seahawks. But in this one, I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks. They're at home. Hard to believe they're going to lose at home, because it's a very strong place, and this crowd can go crazy, especially on a Monday night football game. I do predict this game is going to be close. I believe the Buffalo defense is still going to get trouble with Russell Wilson, but I think Wilson's going to get enough done with his offense, and the defense, of course, is going to back him up as well, as one of the top defenses in the NFL. And Buffalo not having too much power on offense will cause some issues for them. And I believe the Seahawks are going to win this one at home against the Buffalo Bills. We're going to score a score of 17-10. So that is it here for part 2 in the NFL. Again, if you missed part 1, you go down in the descriptions below, click on the link, and it'll take you straight to that video. If you guys want to comment below, if you agree with any of the games that I picked, if you disagree, what do you think about these games? I would love to hear you guys got to say about that. Also, since we're at the halfway point, I mentioned this in part 1, but again in part 2, who do you think is the MVP of the right now in the NFL? There's quite a few players you could nominate right now to be an MVP. It's very interesting now, especially with Tom Brady only playing 4 games and looking how good as he has right now. So I'd love to hear what you guys got to say about that. Also, if you guys want to follow me on Twitter at ColeMartins57. I like to talk about when the games are going on, even when the games are going on. If you guys want to talk to me about anything, just tag me in a tweet. Not tag me, but put me in the tweet, whatever you call it. And if you want to reply to any of my tweets that I post about the NFL or anything else, you can reply back to me. I'd love to hear what you guys got to say. Again, I'm at ColeMartins57. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see some more of my NFL videos or other videos that I post, subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate if you guys did both those. And that is it for this video. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. And you guys all have a great day.